that's fine too. Just
hello, hello. We've got these lovely names here. Oh, faces. Hi, Sam. Hi, Abby. Good to see you.
Hello, how are you?
You're speaking.
I am.
So wonderful. I'm good, lovely. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
You're good. Awesome. And I can see Dawn's here and Helen's here. And Sophie is coming. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, wonderful. And Kat should be here any minute now. So exciting. Julia, welcome everybody. Oh, so cool. Oh, hi Rosie.
Rosie's been out all day. She's been to her nanny's, sorting out her nanny.
Oh, you've just got back.
Yeah, so nanny in London. So Violet, who's Andy's dad, she's 98, and she was the one I spoke about at the event in London. Well, she had a fall on Sunday and she's banged her head, and so she's in the Royal London Hospital in London, which is a bit pants because obviously hospital's not the best place to be at the moment. But because we haven't been able to go and visit her or anything since March, her garden was literally like a jungle. So you've been up there with Daddy doing sorting all that out.
Is it not jungly like now? Less jungly?
Hi.
Hi, So.
Hi.
Oh, welcome.
Go on then.
Welcome, everybody. Oh, bless her. It's always lovely to see her. Right, I'm just going to check. I've got Gabby coming on. I'll tell Kat we're on. Hi, Gabby. How are you?
Hello.
You're good?
You're good.
Awesome. Yay. Fab stuff. So let's hear some celebrations. Pop your celebrations and gratitudes in the chat. That would be awesome. Let me know what module you're working on. Have you done your welcome pack? And see some smiling faces. And whilst you're just gathering that in terms of, so I can see where you guys are, we will celebrate Helen because it's Helen's last weekly Q&A call today. She's going to be joining us tomorrow for our business implementation session, but I just wanted us all to be able to congratulate Helen for a wonderful year in Soulful Business Mastery. And to thank you for being so fabulous and bringing all your love and energy to our group and community. And so excited to see what you're creating in your business. Have stuff. Hi, Julia. Hi, Sunita. Okay.
Hello.
Awesome. Fab stuff. So as you're sharing your gratitudes and celebrations and where you're at with the modules, then we will dive in. We have got Sophie with us today.
Hi, everyone.
So we can do the breakout rooms again. So what would be helpful to know is, does anybody know that they've got questions for Sophie or for me? If you do, then let me know. Otherwise, what we'll do is we can all start together here, running through some of the things that Sophie had identified that would be really useful for you guys. And then as we go, if you suddenly go, oh yeah, I've just remembered of a question, then we can create a breakout room and pop into there. Does that sound like a plan? Yeah.
I've got questions for you, Lou.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so we will
Yeah,
go in.
I do as well, Lou.
Okay, awesome. So we'll go in a breakout room.
I do too, Louisa.
Okay, fab stuff. So what we're going to do is I will, oh, Dawn's submitted a grant application for a website. Yay! Fab stuff. So we'll create a breakout room and pop me, Sunita and Julia in it and Gabby in it. And then when I've answered the questions, you're very welcome to pop back in here and join everybody, or to stay in the breakout room, and then we'll come back and join Sophie when we've done that. So if I'm gonna,
Louisa, will you be recording Sophie's bit or record?
yes,
Okay, all right.
yeah, I'll record Sophie's bit because it won't let you record both, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah.
So yes, I'll record this bit. Okay, so.
Can I come with you? Because I always find it really interesting to listen to what you're telling everybody else, and then I can listen to the recording later. Is that okay?
Unless you wanted to do, Lou, where you did sort of the coaching bit first, and then we had, say, the second half as VA stuff, whatever works best, if people find that more beneficial. Because no one's submitted any specific queries, but I'm happy to kind of start going through whatever you think. However you want to play it, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you want to do coaching in this one as well, so it's recorded too.
Yeah, thank you. Let's split the room, because what we don't know is how long it will take ever to run through the questions. And so what I would recommend is run through one of the things that people had identified as would be useful, because that is going to generate questions anyway. Mm-hmm. And then I know that you probably won't get through all of it, which is absolutely fine, because we can do the same again. Does that sound like a plan? Yeah. What I might have to do is I can create the breakout room, and then you might have to put me in it.
Yeah, that's fine. I just remember what we did last week. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, yeah, it won't let me. So I'll put everybody else in it. So I'm going to put Sam, Gabby, Julia and Sunita, and then you guys can come and join me, or if you feel once your question's answered, you can jump back in the room with Sophie. Okay, and then I will come and join you all in a second.
So I'll see it once you pass it over to me, right? Then I can put you.
Yes. So then, oh, look at this. Oh, Gabby, you've started your welcome pack. Hooray! Oh, you've completed it rather. Okay, hang on. Where are you, Soph?
Hi, everybody.
Ah, there's Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome, lovely. We're
howdy.
just creating breakout rooms. So, Soph, if Kat joins, could you let her know when you see her jump in, welcome her, and let her know that you're doing VA stuff, and if she wants to join the strategy room, just pop her in the strategy room. That would be amazing.
That's fine.
And Carolyn, I'm going to just make Sophie a host so she can make me join the room. Fab. Sophie's going to be doing VA stuff, running through technical things. Sam and Gabby and Sunita had strategy questions, so I'm just going to pop in a great breakout room to answer those, and then we'll be back. If you've got a strategy question, you're very welcome to come and join us in the breakout room, or if you want to stay here, then you can do that as well. Abby's saying, please could I join the breakout room? Dawn, join the breakout room. Okay, so we've got Helen, And is it just Helen then?
And Carolyn.
Helen, you got one-to-one with Soph. Make the most of it. Carolyn, are you joining the breakout room, or are you gonna?
Yeah.
No,
I'll go. I'll do the back office because that's all newbie stuff.
Okay,
It's a foreign
awesome.
language for me.
Okay, cool. So if you've got, I'm going to leave you with Helen and Carolyn,
Okay.
and Kat may well join you as well, and then everyone else is going to.
So now that I'm host, who do I need to move into the breakout room? So
Abby, Dawn, and me, please.
Abby, Dawn, and you. Okay. So let's
Thank you, lovely.
assign to strategy. And you. Okay, I'm assigning you, and you can pop back in, right?
Yeah.
So I don't need to
we can
let
all
people
pop back in when we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Assign to strategy.
Oh, there we go.
Is that everyone?
See you in a second, guys.
Okay, I think I've done everyone. There we go. Hi guys, how are you?
Yeah, good. I've got no questions, so.
You're just gonna watch me do. I don't even know what order I'm gonna do things in. Is there anything, as you two are here, is there anything in particular? I don't know if you saw the post that I did on the Facebook group. Are there any of those areas in particular that would be most beneficial to you to run through? So we've got.
A few.
Say again.
I think I ticked a few.
Yeah, the poll disappeared. There was something weird. Yeah, there was something strange going on. Oh no, it's back now. Oh, that was really strange this morning. Lou and I couldn't work it out. The poll just disappeared, and then I tried to create another one and it wouldn't let me. So Facebook was obviously having some sort of issue. There we go. Okay, so most people have voted for social media insights and stats, which I can run through, membership plugins and dripping course content, and then equal for WordPress, MailChimp, and connecting lead pages. So I'll do the first two. Do either of you have a membership plugin already on your website?
I haven't even got a website yet. Yeah, exactly. I think maybe exactly if we share what we've got so far, then you might go, ooh, actually the next tier, this is what we need to focus on. That might help.
Yeah, because I can obviously show you through how it works on Louisa's website, but I don't, because that's already set up. It'd be quite useful, obviously, if you were at the beginning stages on yours, I could help you maybe set yours up, and that would have been But so you don't have a website yet, Helen? Did you say?
No.
Carolyn, do you have a website yet?
I don't have a website, but I have I started through the Arbor and stuff. I did a private Facebook group.
Okay.
So I've done a bit of the polling, live interviews, building that membership piece up.
Yeah.
But I've kind of just gone to that level because I'm still doing a full-time job.
Yeah. Okay. Of course. Yeah.
Getting all the certification. So I'm literally now I'm at the very, very beginning.
Okay. Perfect.
Going from there.
This will all be useful for you. So I'm
just
trying to figure out, I don't really want to, I feel like overwhelming people with membership plugins might be a bit much, but let me start with social media insights and stats. So what's really useful is to track as you go, obviously, especially with social media, with Facebook groups, when you're growing them, it's quite interesting to look back and see how they've grown. So just recording the statistics in terms of how many people are in your Facebook group, how many friends you've got on Facebook, LinkedIn connections, if you've got Twitter followers, you know, all the different platforms, Instagram followers, things like that. And recording the insights in terms of maybe how many people have visited your Facebook. Actually, that's more on pages. Let me just open up and then I'll share my screen. So let's see if I can open Lou's. Oh, Facebook's got this new layout, which is really throwing me. Might switch back to the classic one. Just to make it easier. Okay. So if I go to the art of alignment, for example, because that's Lou's main one. Do either of you have Facebook pages or do you just have a group?
I've just got a group.
Just a group. Okay.
Yeah, exactly, group.
Okay, no worries.
I mean, when you say page, is that more just a single page that has base content on it?
So a Facebook page, it's like a business page really. So a Facebook page is different because only you can post on there. So anyone that you've made an admin, you can post on. So a lot of businesses have it, but it's a bit more formal. It's less engagement. People can engage on your posts and comment back, but they can't write their own posts. So obviously with a group, it's a lot more engagement, things like that. But with a Facebook page, it comes up in things like Google search results. So if you wanted someone to search for you and find your Facebook page, or find you on Facebook, they'd find it via a page, whereas on a group that doesn't come up in Google search results. But obviously you're inviting people in and doing organic growth that way. So
okay, so that can be your almost front face to go to a wider market that's outside of my initial first tier network.
exactly, yeah. So a page is, it's just basically your business page. So you'd have it your coaching page or therapy page, whatever your business is, and then that's where you post your updates, any blog posts you've done, any, you know, it's all coming from you.
Okay.
Whereas a group
page, or can you just have one?
So that again, you can have one.
If you've got like multiple businesses, can you have more than one business page?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can set up as many pages as you want, but and obviously then it's just you put the company logo and stuff at the top, but you're the main admin, so you control what's on there. You could obviously, if you had a VA, you could obviously make them an admin as well, so they can post on your behalf and things like that. But it looks like it's coming from the page. So whereas on your Facebook group, it will say Helen Jane is who's posted, or Carolyn Wade is who's posted. On your Facebook page, it would show whatever your business name is. So it would say Helen Jane Coaching, for example, and that would be the profile that's posted. It would be your business name rather than you personally, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Is that linked to your personal profile as well, or is it totally separate?
It is, because you have to log in on your personal Facebook, and then you've got like a list of pages that you manage, just like you've got the list of groups that you manage and things like that. It's the same. So you have to log in through yours. It's not a separate login or anything. Okay. And you can obviously have it listed on your Facebook profile that this is your business page, so people could find it through there if they wanted. But I know Louisa mentioned in the group earlier this week that actually a group is much better. So it's good to have both. I think a page can often manage a group. So I think Louisa's group is managed by, it's linked to her page. So her Louisa Haver's coaching page is actually linked to her Facebook group, but she does everything through her group, because the engagement's just a lot better. It's more like a community, which is what's for coaching is really ideal. It's like a community feel. Everyone's, you know, giving information and tips and things like that. It's good. Okay. So yeah, you can have both. Like Louisa does.
Helen, well, if you were going to do a number of Facebook pages, what would you put on them? So your coaching, is it some other therapy, or
just have
Helen, you were saying you might have other Facebook pages or multiple Facebook pages.
Oh right, okay. So I'm still unsure whether to sort of split things. So coaching, hypnotherapy, and energy alignment. So I could have 3, I guess, potentially, or I could combine them all together in one. So but I'm just thinking if they come up in a Google search, there might be some advantage to having 3 different pages.
Yeah, having them there, you don't necessarily have to do much on them. You can focus on your energy maybe in the group, but I mean, you can just see, it depends how you can always create them. It doesn't take much to create them, and then they're there, you can use them when you don't. So but at least then you come up, and they often then you can link it to your group as well, so people can go to your group through the page. Right, so let me just, so if you're doing, so pages are quite interesting as well. I'll show you actually, let me share my screen. I've got a lot of tabs open. Hang on. That's fine, I'll just leave them open. Right, now I share my screen, share screen.
So Helen, I've got intermittent email, but I was seeing there was something about your graduation or some, Helen, she put something on about you today in this group.
Yeah, my last call today.
Ah, okay. So this is graduating from her. Okay, got it. Okay. Wow.
I still get access to the group, but I just don't come on the calls anymore. So.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is what your, obviously this is Lou's group, but this is what your group would look like as you see it as an admin. What I often do, so each week on a Monday, I just have a really simple spreadsheet. Just trying to see if I've got it open anywhere. So I just call it 2020 Socials Tracker, and basically I track each week. So I've got the week commencing date here, and then I just put in there how many friends, for example, Louisa's got on her Facebook, like her personal Facebook profile, how many in her Art of Alignment group, so how many members, how many Instagram followers, LinkedIn connections, active email contacts. So I mentioned last week on our call that we've got a really interesting automation set up to remove people that aren't opening emails, aren't clicking on things. If they haven't engaged at all in emails in over 90 days, we send a re-engagement campaign to, you know, try and offer them like a free meditation and see if that will entice them to engage and open up their emails. And if they still don't open the emails or just ignore them, then we remove them from our active email contacts. They still sit there as a contact, but we unsubscribe them from all our lists. So that's why you'll see total email contacts, that number increases, but the active email contacts sometimes reduces because, you know, it's clearing out the data basically. So we're only focusing and we're only sending our campaigns to live, active, interested, engaged people. So that helps with costs as well, because on a lot of email platforms, you'll find that they charge you per contact that you're emailing. So if we were emailing 7,000 contacts each time, that would cost us more per month to have 7,000 contacts than to have 2,700, for example. So it's below a price point. I think under 5,000 is a different price point per month than over 5,000. So it can make a difference. So that's quite handy. So yeah, I just track it all here. And then I've got a kind of cumulative, these are just random notes down here, but I've got a cumulative increase. So for 2020, for example, on Lou's personal Facebook page, this is how many more friends she's connected with, how many have increased in her group, which I think I actually need to add up last month, but how many more followers on each of the platforms, basically. So an extra 1,300 LinkedIn connections. And like I said, she's got 333 more email contacts, but actually lost 424 in terms of active. But that's fine, because we want to be obviously making sure that we're only really speaking to the ones that are engaged and interested. So, so that's just a really simple way that I track it. You can see the sort of monthly increases here, which is just done with a little formula. So that one minus that one equals how much it's increased for May. So that's the basic way that I track that. And obviously you can see how many members you've got over on the right hand side. If you wanted to do further insights into the group, maybe keep track of who's engaging more, you can click on group insights over here on the left. And you can see over here, so obviously Lou's the top admin in terms of who posts out of all the admins, which is understandable. If you click, so you can see all your headline stats in terms of all your units, any files you've uploaded. So these are all of the free trainings that Louisa's got on there, any hot seats, so meditations, you can see the headline numbers there. If you click on more member details, you can see your top contributors. So this is quite interesting to obviously see who is, so this is over the last month, and it's members who've commented and posted the most. And obviously admins and moderators aren't included because Louisa would probably be top otherwise. But it's just quite interesting to see out of your members in your group who is the most active, and therefore maybe who you'd want to, if they're not a client already, then maybe the people that you want to kind of speak to most and sort of warm up the most, if you see what I mean. Hi, Kat.
Hi, folks.
You might
the link in the thingy doesn't work.
What link?
The link in the events tab. I've been trying to join on that, but that's not the one that works apparently.
It's the one in it's the live coaching implementation calls. That link should work there.
Yes, I'm in on that one now. Sorry, I'm late.
No, that's fine. Just to let you know, so in case you're confused, I'm Lou's VA and I'm just doing some sort of technical training basically on certain things. Lou is actually in a breakout room on Zoom with people who have got coaching questions. So just let me know which one you'd rather be in and I can...
Okay, no worries. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I'll put myself on silent.
Do you want me to put you in the room with Lou going over any sort of questions you've got for her, or are you...
No, I'm fine. Just joining somewhere would be great.
Okay. All right.
Looking at Facebook, so it might be helpful.
Say again.
Sorry, Helen.
I was just saying we're looking at Facebook, so it might be helpful.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Helen. Thank you.
So I was just going over how I track, and you'll see it in the recording anyway if you watch the beginning back, but how I track Lou's progress with all her social media. So yeah, this shows you obviously the top the top contributing members in your group, in the group insights section. And then you can obviously also see how it's broken down in terms of gender, which is often quite interesting. So Lou's is massively dominated by females. And I think if you, yeah, and so obviously you can see the different age ranges here as well. So this is the main age range and this would help if you were doing, for example, if you decided to do Facebook ads, or if you were doing any particular marketing campaigns or emails that you were sending out to your contacts. It just helps you tailor, for example, you know, if the majority of your clients were in the 18 to 24 age range, you might target it slightly different in terms of wording and approach than if they were in the 45 to 54 age range. So that's quite interesting to see. I don't actually track any of this for Lou because she doesn't really need it, but it's just useful for you to see. And then obviously the countries and the cities that people are from as well, which would help in terms of, so maybe if Louisa's main followers were in the United States, it might help her decide on what time to go live, for example, you know, on those sort of days, because it makes sense to do it at a time where it suits most of her following. So that's the more member details. And you can download these as well, these top members in a spreadsheet, but I'm not sure how useful that really is. This is just number of people who've completed certain units. Might find that useful. It's not something we really use. But if you had unit sections with trainings and things like that, it might be useful to see which one's the most popular, for example, that people have completed. So that's on a Facebook group, which is obviously what most of you will have. If I go to Lou's coaching page, so if you did decide to have a page, I'll quickly show you the insights you can see on that. There won't be much activity on this because Louisa we don't really post on here at the moment. So, and you can obviously see the group. So, you know, when I said that you could have obviously a page which would then pop up on Google if someone searched for it, that does pop up, whereas a group doesn't. It may still take a while for you to move up in the search results, but a Facebook page does appear somewhere in Google. And if someone puts in Louisa Havers Coaching, that's quite a unique search term, so that Facebook page should hopefully appear fairly near the top. And you can see all the groups that this page is linked to. So if you had multiple groups for, say you were a yoga teacher, you could have a yoga group, you could have an EAM group, you could have, you know, and it would list it all there basically. So in a Facebook page, the insights are in a slightly different place. So up the top here, you've got insights. If it's not showing along the top here, click on more and insights will be down there. On a couple of pages I've been on, for some reason, something else has appeared on this top menu item and you find it in more, but it should usually appear in the insight on the main menu at the top. And this is quite useful because for another client that I work for, I do this each week, so I update these stats. And I just do it on the last 7 days, but you can change the time frame here. So if you wanted the last month or yesterday, but the last 7 days, I do this each week as well. So you can see how many people have viewed your page in this time period. So these are the main ones I think are quite useful. Page views, how many people your posts have reached. So this is, so if you hover over the eye, it's the number of people who saw any of your posts at least once. So that's quite a useful thing as well. And you can see if we were using this page a lot more, this often would show like it would be green, it would be a increase usually, but because we don't really use this page, I'm not surprised that these are red at the moment. If you were doing stories, you could see how many people your stories had reached. I often do, so page followers, that's if you were using your page quite actively and you wanted to see your followers increase, it would show you the follower increase there each week. How many people have engaged with your posts is here, and engaged is basically clicked on your post, liked them, commented on them, shared them, things like that. And videos, if you post a lot of videos, so I know a lot of coaches obviously do post little video clips, so you can see how many people have watched your video for longer than 3 seconds, which I know doesn't sound much, but to actually, a lot of people will see your video just by scrolling through it on their homepage, for example. But if someone actually stops and starts to watch it, it's just an indication that someone's actually taken that time to watch one of your videos. So one of my other clients, this is quite high each week because of the videos they post, and they're quite active on there. So it's useful to see from week to week how that goes up and down. So this is stuff you could obviously all track on a spreadsheet if you wanted to see, you know, how your engagement's going up or fluctuating, and you could see maybe certain weeks it's a bit lower, and maybe then you could assess what you're posting on those weeks and the increase of your followers. So it's just useful to see, maybe look back on at the end of the year, end of the month, and see what your trends are in terms of activity. So that's if you had a page. You can do more in the insights. You know, you can see how well each of your posts have been performing. Yeah, there's lots you can do on here, but I'd say these are the main one. You've got all these different things down here, but I wouldn't worry too much about them. You can obviously go and have a little play and a delve in them, but I wouldn't really bother too much. And then on your page you can see your followers, your total number of followers, down on the right hand side here. So yeah, I'd say that's the main way to find the Facebook statistics. I'm assuming, so obviously on Instagram, followers I just get from here. To find further insights on Instagram, you have to do it on your phone. Instagram's a bit pants. I was going to say a rude word. A bit pants on the computer, but actually if you're on Instagram on your phone, you can actually see insights. So a bit like we've done on Facebook, you can see your post reach, so how many people have and the impressions, so how many times your posts have been seen by people. You can see all of that on Instagram as well. Let me just, I'll say it on this video just so it's in the training how to find that. So if you go on Instagram and you go to your profile on Instagram and you click the little burger menu at the top where the little 3 lines are, and then you should see, as long as you've got a business account, which is really easy to switch to a business account in the settings, you can click on a little thing called Insights. I don't know if you can, this isn't going to work, is it? But anyway, in that menu there's a thing called Insights, the little graph, and you can click on that and you can see there's 3 options: content, activity, and audience. So audience does what your Facebook group did, where you know, you can see like how many are female, the age ranges, so you can see that on Instagram as well. And you can see the top locations and the top times that people are on and days of the week, so that helps you in terms of when to post. And in the activity tab on Insights, you can see how many people your posts have reached, how many impressions they've had, and how many people have visited your profile, and how many people have clicked on your website link that you've got in your profile. So they're just all useful things to just track, so that you can see that, is it going up, is it going down, is it staying the same, is what I'm doing working, and you can assess it that way. So yeah, that's the, I'd say, main, obviously Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if you on LinkedIn, let's just minimize all these. LinkedIn, you can obviously see your connections if you click on my network, and you can see your number of connections up here. I track that number as well for Lou. And if you had Twitter, you could obviously check your Twitter followers too. So I'd say that's the main thing in terms of social media insights and statistics. Has anyone got any specific questions while we're on social media, just on social media stuff that's not necessarily related to stats, but
Sophie, I don't have that. I'm Facebook only at the moment. Nice to meet you, by the way. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm crashing in then. So is there one, I'm in the coaching field as well, is one better than the other? Should I I use Facebook kind of personally too, and I'm wanting to get to another platform. I'm guessing that LinkedIn, I don't know whether LinkedIn or Instagram might be better, or do them all.
So I'd say definitely master, well, I say master, but get comfortable and familiar with one, because trying to manage all of them, if it's all very new, it can be a bit time consuming, a bit overwhelming. Yeah. So do it how I'd focus on one in particular. So say have a Facebook group, set that up, start to invite people in and do it that way. What we find works particularly well with, it does work on Instagram and LinkedIn in slightly different ways, because you've got to bear in mind that each platform has, so when I say platform, I mean Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, has different types of followers. So for example, Facebook is a lot more about community and people commenting on things and engaging. Instagram's very much, people look at stories quite a lot on Instagram, which disappear after 24 hours. And also they just scroll through the feed. It's very much about imagery. So that's where a lot of, let me just show you Lou's, for example. We tried, so one, you can do different things like laying it out like a grid style like this, like a checkerboard grid. So where she had like quote, you know, image or video, quote, things like that. So you can make it look quite on brand if you wanted to. You can play around with it, or you can just post, you know, nice images. Instagram's quite personal as well. I think people feel like on Instagram that you are really getting to know the person. So that's where you could post, you know, things. The
photos that you have and the moments that you capture and the energy you capture, to me, would so work well on Instagram. I think LinkedIn is so businessy, and I use it more for searching a prospect in the business world that I want to sell to. So I try to understand what their previous work was. But other than the business stuff, I know nothing else about them. It's pretty limited. Where with your photos, dear, you've got, that is such a value added gift. And is that correct, Sophie, that the Instagram is much more photo driven?
Oh, it's totally photo driven. So Instagram is all about your feed. So this is your Instagram feed, if you like, and it's just photos, but each photo has a, you know, a caption with it, and hashtags. Hashtags work really well on Instagram. They don't really work on, have that much functionality on Facebook. One maybe does, but not lots. And people search by hashtags. So for example, if you were really interested in neuroplasticity, so hashtag neuroplasticity, or hashtag law of attraction, or hashtag lifestyle, people follow certain tags. So for example, I follow certain things that you're interested in. So you could follow the hashtag vegan recipes, for example, and therefore you'd see lots of things in your home feed that were recipes that you're interested in, or you know, hashtag motivational quotes or something like that. And a lot of people really like seeing motivational quotes. It's quite visual, it gives them that boost. So if you follow that hashtag, then you see those, so therefore you use that hashtag in your image comment, if you like, and that means more people see your post that don't even follow you. So you don't have to be following Louisa to see this image and this post if you're following a certain hashtag that.
So on those hashtags, that's a real foreign language to me. I mean, is that something, should we maybe start using, looking at what she's got, and then go in to look at the law of attraction, just to see the range of people and coaches that are using that as an example to get
so let's just say
what's out there.
I mean, it's not as good, like I said before, it's much better on your phone. Instagram's very phone centric rather than on the desktop. But law of attraction, so this is the hashtag law of attraction. So there's over 9 million posts on Instagram which have got that hashtag linked to it. Now it will show the top posts. These are obviously famous people or people that have had a lot of interaction on their posts. So your post won't, like Louisa's never feature in the top post, for example, because they don't have as much engagement as some of these, you know, 1,200 likes, things like that, 3,200 likes there. Then you also got most recent. So these are the most recent posts that have been posted with hashtag law of attraction. So if I was following law of attraction, I would see some, not all, you only see some, but some of these posts come up in my feed on Instagram if I was scrolling through at a certain time of day. So it's useful to try and get in front of the people. What you want to do with hashtags, I know it sounds like and to me, when they first came out, I had no idea what they were. And obviously then I learned it and figured it out. But hashtags really are just tags that you, that are not trending, but they're things that people are interested in. So what you'd be wanting to use as hashtags are phrases or words. So like law of attraction or life coach or different things like that, that you think people might either be searching for or interested in, that link to your field. So if you were also a yoga teacher, you'd have hashtag yoga teacher, hashtag yoga retreat, hashtag, you know, things that people might actually be searching for. So I sometimes look for motivational quotes because I like them and it's nice to see. And if you think people are going to be looking for that and they're your right kind of clientele, then you'd maybe use that hashtag in your post so that you're more likely to appear in front of their Facebook, Instagram feeds. But yeah, Instagram's very photo centric. So if I go back to Louisa, well, this is like the home page for Instagram. So you just scroll down and you see images really, and a lot of them are either selling things or they're very personal with a comment underneath talking about you know, a lot of things that Louisa posts are little life coaching tips or business tips, or make it personal about her and her family. So it's really about getting to know you as a person, so people can relate to you, people can really bond with you, and things start to resonate with them. Oh, I have that in my life, and oh, I do that, and oh, it's really nice to see that she's got, you know, 2 sons and where she goes on holiday and things like that, that you just start to build up that feel. Whereas LinkedIn is very much like you said, Caroline, it's very much business related. It's so, for example, on, let me just see.
One other thing on Instagram and Facebook, because they're kind of owned by the same company.
Yeah.
Is there like is it Tree Link or something that
Linktree.
When you do a Facebook Live, that, or vice versa, if you did an Instagram Live, that it actually goes right into your own Facebook if you got the 2 accounts linked or something? Or
you can, so Linktree is, how do I get rid of this thing on the top? So Linktree is a oh my god, these things are in the way.
I'm just trying, you know, thinking of, so we're not duplicating, or in some ways what we do in one of the platforms helps. You're not having to upload the same thing or, you know, duplicate your work.
Yeah, so that, so Lou does, so when she goes live on Zoom and Facebook, for example, at the same time. I don't know how you do it across, I've never seen Lou do Instagram to Facebook, and actually none of my clients have done that, but that's not something I will actually look into now you've said that. But there is a way that you can sync so that you're live on multiple platforms. I'll look into that for next time actually, because that's an interesting one. But Linktree is a useful, it's so easy to use, and it basically means, so on Instagram, oh, that's really not helpful, is it? But Instagram. Oh, no, I'll find Louisa's thingy, but it's basically a website where you, because on Instagram you can only have 1 link in your bio. So this is your biography, basically your little bio that says people instantly, tells people who you are, what you do, what you're about. So it's really important to obviously have something here that it stands out. You can only have 1 link, so a lot of people just have their website, for example. But if you wanted more things, so if you wanted a link to your Facebook group, you wanted a link to your coaching program on your website, if you wanted a link to your, if you had an Arbonne business, to your Arbonne page, things like that, you want people to be able to select whatever's relevant to them. Set up a link tree, and when you click on this, I'm just trying to think of someone that's got one. Oh, I know one. I know quite a few, like, oh, this is going to look really weird doing this, but right, this is going to look, ignore that I'm going to this random person page, but he's got a link tree, for example, and it looks like this. So you can link to your latest YouTube video, any discount codes you've got, products. It looks really nice. It's really simple. People can say, right, I want to go and see what, you know, buy his ebook, or go to his merchandise page or whatever. So you get the gist.
Yeah.
and it's really useful, and it looks nice, and people just click straight away there and go to whatever it is you want to show them. You don't have to have this many, you can just have 2 or 3, but if you've got several places you want to direct people and you can't put all of them in your bio, Linktree is really, really useful. So just sign up for a Linktree account. It's quite easy to go through. I can obviously show you through that at some point if you want to know how to set one up. But yeah, it's just gone to some sort of personal trainers thing on this coaching call. But anyway, so
that's all right. Well, no, that shows me the range that can be offered, but also the limitations from an Instagram. So, you know, because there was a lady that helped me set it up. She did that kind of back office, so I know it. But on the other side, I'm like, I now want to start really engaging with it. So like you're saying is, wow, if I wanted to do the extents of Arbonne or essential oils or, you know, other training equipment.
Exactly.
That gives me the angle. Okay.
Yeah, so it just means that you're not limited. It's kind of a hack, like a workaround of where Instagram only gives you one link that you can put in. It just means that actually you can offer everything. So whoever's on your page for whatever they're on your page for, they can access anything. So yeah, I mean, I can do more in depth on Instagram at some point if people want, but you know, you've got all these different highlights. So EAM, client stories, free training, this is all linked to stories, which is what disappears after 24 hours. But if you didn't want that particular insight, say you'd done a 1-minute spiel on a particular life coaching technique or something or a tip, you could save that into this little highlights reel here. So this is all the different kind of things that people might want to see when they go to Lou's page that also gives them more in-depth information about her. So Instagram's like a whole separate kind of beast really, which I can definitely go into if people will find that useful. But in terms of which platforms are good for what, so that probably gives you a feel for Instagram being very image central, it's very visual. It's not really like Facebook, which is more, you know, people write actual posts and there's lots more engagement and all about groups and community, bringing people together. Instagram is very much about you follow people you're interested in. So Lou's got nearly 4,000 followers of people that are interested in her work and seeing what she's got to post about, and it's and then you just post what people you think want to see, I guess, but it's more about you and your personal life. LinkedIn is very much it's more professional, so we do quite a lot of reaching out on LinkedIn so when Lou's got a free challenge, and if she's not got the challenge or the workshop and we just want to get more people into the Facebook group, we'll send messages saying, hey, you know, seen that you might, I can't even think of the message now, but seen that you might be interested in getting into being part of a Facebook group with like-minded individuals, networking. You know, if you're interested and you feel it aligns, here's the link to my Facebook group. And you just write a kind of nice message and you send that out to people on LinkedIn that you've looked at, that say, so for example, Louisa will speak to Arbonne consultants or EAM mentors or other life coaches or yoga teachers, people that are very much her client base. So she's gone through and worked out obviously who her ideal clients are and sort of done a kind of like a page for me to read obviously who her ideal clients are, so then I can maybe go and target certain people. So it might be HR consultants or HR directors, you know, high up people in certain companies in London that maybe want to escape their busy life and start up their own business. So those are the sort of people that you can target. So you can target them very much based on what they do for a living at the moment, and if you feel that they're your ideal client, for example. So that's where LinkedIn is really useful. It's not as personal. People do post personal things on there, but it's very much business orientated, and it's connecting with other business professionals. And so it might be that you connect with people who are going to be a good fit for you to work with in terms of like collaborations on something. So another life coach, or I don't know, but a lot of people do it to find clients as well. So it's quite business focused, but it's just less personal. So
can you target by age or by location on LinkedIn?
You can. So for example, so we go through, I haven't done it that much recently, but we went through a phase of, that's why there's so many connections of, so for example, let's do so you can filter this by, so of your connections. So I'd say it's always useful if you've got LinkedIn already to target people that you're already connected with, because they've already got somewhere along the line had a relationship with you, and therefore if you feel that they're your the right sort of person that might want to work with you, I say target them, basically send them a message and just sort of try and engage them. And you'll tweak the messages as we go. So the messages that say Louisa and I used for a LinkedIn a year ago, 2 years ago, are different to the ones that we use now. We sort of tweak them based on what we feel works best and what gets the best response. So you can sort of try and error it. But so if you can sort by recently added or first name or last name, obviously search people individually, or you can search with filters. So sorry, all my notifications keep popping up. So first connection, so these are people you're actually connected with. You can search for second connection. So that would be something like, I'm connected with Louisa and Louisa is connected with Helen, but me and Helen aren't connected on LinkedIn. So I could search for that second connection. So it's like a second person removed. So that's quite useful in the sense that actually I know a lot of my connections will have connections that would also be of interest to me. So you can search by second connections, and that then expands your reach of who you're searching for and messaging. So you can message and send a connection request to all your connections, if that makes sense. So that's quite useful to be able to search by up there. Locations, so it shows obviously the most popular ones. I don't know if you can search for something specific like Manchester. Yeah, and it pops up there. So you can search by towns. So if you were doing a retreat, for example, in a particular, say Louisa was doing a Brighton retreat, a day retreat, yoga and Arbonne and nutrition and meditation, she could search for Brighton, Hove, Lewis, you know, all those surrounding sort of areas, and actually then just message her contacts she thinks might be interested that are in the local area, because they're more likely to want to come because they live locally. Whereas if she was messaging someone in America, who's very unlikely to fly over to the UK for a one-day EAM retreat. So you can filter by location, and you can also filter by company. So for example, if a lot of your clients were NHS, that was your ideal client, or they work for certain banks or the council or Arbonne, you could filter by that. You can also search, so let me think of another one. No, I can't even think of any company names now.
BBC.
So there you go, you can search like different companies that you might have first or second connections with that work at the BBC, for example. You can also click on all filters, and there's so many different things you can search for here. So, you know, so you could search connections of Helen, for example. So I could put in Louisa Havers or Helen Jane. You can search for certain companies, tick many, which schools they went to, if that was useful, which is probably not going to be, but different industries. So are they in the health, wellness and fitness industry, human resources, you know, interests they've got, things like that, what services they offer. You can search for, you know, their job title, anyway, lots of different things. So it's quite useful to be able to find really targeted clients or potential clients for you to reach out to and message. And you can, I'd say on LinkedIn, you do get a lot of, if you're on LinkedIn, you'll know you do get quite a lot of messages that are just, you know, hi, you know, maybe I can increase your SEO on your website, the real salesy ones that you just ignore. Whereas if you make your message quite personal, you put their name, maybe you mention something that's on their profile, I don't know, but you make it a bit more personal rather than this typical salesy speech, then you're more likely to get a response back from them. So that's how you search for within your connections, and also with your connections by doing the second. Or you could just search, if I just go back to LinkedIn, let's search for HR director, for example. And then when you search for that, you then click on, so people might be looking for HR director jobs on LinkedIn. So that's where you could, you know, or events. But if you're looking for HR directors as your ideal clients, for example, you click on people and it will show you all of the people that are HR directors that you're not already connected with. So maybe you might want to go through and say, each day I'm going to go and connect with 50 people, or send a connection request to 50 people who might be my ideal clients. And this is how you do it. So you could maybe filter by location, by job title, by interests, whatever it is that we've gone through before, and you just connect with them. And then if they look at you and think that they want to connect with you, then they'll connect with you back or accept your connection request. So and you can see here whether they're a second tier connection or not. So these won't ever be first tier connections because you're already friends with those. This is only showing you people that you're not already connected with. So second connections are good because it means that you're already connected, or you share these connections down here, if that makes sense. So Alison Crowley has got shared connections with you with Amber, Adam, and 22 others. So it's just, yeah, it's useful to sort of to use in that way. So that's what I would say for LinkedIn. And your posts are probably quite different. So maybe you'd post things that you'd share maybe recent articles that are linked to your particular industry, or you'd share certain, you know, maybe you've done a blog post about something. It's just, it's a slightly different feel. So your target market is different on LinkedIn than it is on, say, Instagram or Facebook, because of just the type of people that are on there and what they're searching for, if you see what I mean. So yeah, are there any other questions that I can answer on any of these sort of things while we're on social media stuff?
So the LinkedIn is free, Sophie. You don't do a pro account on that or anything?
No, you don't need to. You can do, you don't need to, definitely not to start with. Anyway, maybe later down the line you might want to. Pro is useful for maybe seeing everyone who's looked at your profile. On a free account you can just see some people, select people that have looked at your profile, whereas a pro account you can see everyone that's looked at your profile. So there's certain things that you can do on a pro account that you can't on a free, but for what you need to start with, free is absolutely fine. I don't know, lots of people have got free, so okay, that's you can do everything you need to with free, and then you can always look at upgrading and what that gives you as and when later down the line. But yeah, free account, it's just a good, you know, if someone was looking for a particular type of coach, for example, and they were professional themselves, they would quite often say, look, that particular type of coach they're after, business coach, life coach, energy coach, I don't know, on LinkedIn, because it is a professional networking platform. Really, that's what it is. Just, it's an online networking, professional networking platform. So yeah, any other questions on that before I figure out what to move on to next?
That's been really helpful.
Yeah, okay. Is there anything else I can show you on? I don't know, I know Facebook's probably the main one that everyone's on. I don't know if there's anything.
I mean, even for me, it's just, you know, you're writing a post. What is this creating room? I think it's quite new. I haven't really explored it. Have you used creating room?
I haven't, but I think it's, I don't even know if Lou has. It is new. We've not used it before. The way I think of it is, it's basically like you do a video and you can create certain people. It's like you can do these watch parties. Watch parties are used for previous videos that you've done. So say you've done a live on a particular topic and X amount of people watched it, but you wanted to kind of host a watch party again. It's almost like redoing your live, so people get notified of it and they can join and watch it. So that's what a watch party is. Great room, I'm not actually sure. I kind of want to do it, but I don't want to actually start casting something.
I know, Michael, exactly.
His Facebook page. But that is new. That is fairly new. I don't think Lou's done it before, but I will look into that for next time, because yeah, the way
what do you guys use? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that what I think it probably is. Maybe we can look it up now, actually. So create room. So I just Google a lot of things. If I don't know what it is, I just type in create room on Facebook. So it's yeah, so it's a select video chat. So basically, if you look at this image, for example, this is what I thought it would be. You can, within your group, either send anyone the link to join a room. So say Lou wants to do a Soulful business. She could maybe do a post, or you could maybe do a post that said, is anyone interested in learning more about Soulful Business Mastery coaching program, for example? Anyone on the comments that says yes, she could then say, all right, I'm going live at, well, I'm doing a video Q&A session at 5 p.m. UK time, and then she can invite them in so you've effectively got a group video that's only for those people that have said yes and wanted to be part of it.
Expressed interest. Okay. Okay.
So it's a bit like on Zoom, we've got different rooms now. So we're in the main room and then Lou's in the breakout room. It's a specific room that only has certain people in, and either you can invite them with a link or you can invite them manually. So I guess you could set their name.
Kind of Facebook's little plug against somebody using Zoom. They're trying to create that little bit of a controlled space that is temporary. I guess what I'd like to understand is too is, say you've got some really good video content that comes out of that. Is that still sitting on Facebook's hands and it's only there? Because I notice sometimes when I've tried to go into Facebook and say I've uploaded, it sometimes has 2 video recordings, but I cannot figure out how to delete or remove them. Like, I don't know why I have duplicates.
When you've done a live,
you know, if you do a, you know, if I, like the recordings I've done, I've had them on Zoom. The person that I'm interviewing, we go live together on Zoom, and then I push on Zoom and go live. So I have my own recording. Even though the whole content sits on Facebook, I've got a backup recording, because then I can cut and edit and nip down the key parts that I want to maybe use even for Instagram or something else later. But what I'm conscious that there's parts of Facebook, it's almost like, well, I know once you put it out there, it's kind of on their platform and it becomes harder to remove, edit.
You can remove videos on, so let's just go to, I know what you mean though. So basically anything that you put on Facebook is effectively then owned by Facebook. That's part of their T's and C's. So any images, any videos, you can download videos from Facebook. So before Lou started doing it on Zoom and Facebook together, she would just, for example, why is this frozen now? She would just, for example, go live on Facebook, and then I would download the video from Facebook, edit it, cut out bits that we didn't need, and then you've got a kind of video with all the good things that you've talked about to then reshare on other platforms. I'm just trying to see, maybe I'll just use this one. Facebook, has anyone else found that Facebook's been so slow recently? I think it's where they've got this new platforms. This is probably not going to be a very good tutorial, but
probably, having 2 platforms running on the same mass servers around the world, it's too much.
Maybe I'll do this another time when it's sorted itself out. But you can, I don't know if you can do it here. Save video doesn't really do much in terms of downloading it.
It's saying to post there, so it's giving you, I guess maybe because you're sitting as admin, but I need to try and figure that one out on mine, because it's
as an admin you can remove posts and download and save videos and things like that. You can do that. So it will sometimes duplicate it in terms of your top post. So you've got it in your new activity, and sometimes if you've got it, say, as an announcement, you'll see it twice, but you should just see it once. So okay, so that's kind of a social media.
Is there any way on Facebook, you know, when you post something, if you're doing it as like a public post, other than doing Facebook advertising, is there any way that you can target who sees that post?
No, not really. That's what the advertising's for. I mean, you can obviously, you could tag people, or no, there's not really any way to.
Can't put denominations in of who you want to see it.
No, it is frustrating. They've kind of put you in a corner where you have to really pay for advertising to be able to do those sort of things. But other than putting it out at the right sort of time, where you've seen from the insights that's where the time that most people are online, or sharing it across multiple groups and your personal page and your Facebook group and your Facebook page and things like that at the same time. No, there's not really any way to target without paying for it, but which is annoying. So right, any other Facebooky, socially questions?
So you said you can download videos from Facebook?
Yes, you can. If this was going to load and play ball, maybe I'll click on videos and see if that helps. So you can, where is it? Is it through here? So if you click on the little, so basically open the video, so it's a big video post, you expand it basically to be rather than just playing it on the page. and then you click on these 3 little dots here, and then you can click download video, and that means that you can then download, and that will save it as a video file on your, you can save it on your computer, and then you can use that and edit it and trim it and
I didn't know that.
like that.
Yeah.
So I think there's another, you have to go download, download video, and it just downloads as an MP4 file into your downloads folder. So if it doesn't pop up on the bar after you go to your downloads folder on your computer, it should be in there if your computer's set up that way. So that's it. They don't make it easy, it is hidden, but there is a way to do it.
Thank you.
That's okay.
And I'm also wondering, because I've noticed like my work computer, when I'm on Facebook, it will show me different elements. The iPad that I'm using now is like a really old one. And there's a limitation. And then also when I look at Facebook from my phone, at times it will have not quite the same, it's not all synced what it's showing. So I'm also wondering, could that be the level of the Facebook that I've got on the system of Facebook?
It should all be live and synced. So what, so it's not showing on your phone the same stuff on your page, is it?
Yeah, so I did a recording, a week ago, and I did a pre, I'm going to go live in like 30 minutes, and I could see that on all of them, but it was the actual recording. It was only one of my 3 pieces of equipment that I could see the actual recording.
That's strange. That shouldn't happen. You should be able to see
So
it.
I thinking maybe because the iPad is so old, thinking maybe it's just got a much older version or something. So, okay.
I had a problem with Facebook trying to schedule a video.
Okay.
It just wouldn't schedule it. So I don't know if it was, something to do with Facebook or something to do with the internet.
So did it go out? So in terms of scheduling, you do that up. They've moved it, haven't they? It used to be up here. Why is this not going to the very top? Yeah, you used to be able to. Here you go. Yeah, schedule post.
Yeah.
So let's just type in hello, schedule post, and then so is that the way that you did it?
Yeah.
Helen?
Yeah, it was fine with like quotes and worksheets, but it was just a video.
A video didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do. Is that the one I just downloaded? Yeah. So this is the video. I won't actually post this, obviously. If I do, I can just delete it. So that's fine.
I never had a problem with it before. It was just this particular day. It's weird.
Yeah. Oh, let's go try.
Is there like a maximum content of the video or minutes that Facebook will you allow?
Should
it eventually. I had to download it from my phone to my computer, and then I could do it from the computer, but it wouldn't let me do it just on my phone, which it does normally.
Oh, so you were scheduling from your phone rather than the computer. Oh, I don't know, maybe I haven't tried scheduling from my phone, so maybe that was it. But from the computer, was there a reason you couldn't do it on your computer?
No, eventually I could do it from my computer.
Oh, okay, but not
but on my phone normally I've not had a problem.
Okay.
It was just weird.
That's interesting. I'll try it on a phone because I haven't actually tried to schedule a video specifically from my phone. I've scheduled other ones, but not a video. So I'll look into that and see if there is just a particular thing that you can't do it from my phone. I don't know why that would be the case, but
I've done other ones from my phone, but it was just this one particular day. So probably just a glitch thing.
Yeah, and Facebook, where they're switching over to this new one, a bit like it deleted the poll that I put through yesterday, and it only just appeared again recently. Sometimes Facebook does strange things. I don't really understand it. Sometimes it sorts itself out. Sometimes they move things. There was a thing for about 2 weeks. I couldn't lose members. I like to filter by. So when I was trying to message disengaged members, for example, with the group that hadn't engaged for a while, just to check in with them, direct message them, and then see if that brought them back into the group. But you can filter by alphabetical, and I find that quite useful to then keep track. So I do say maybe 100 a day, and I know what letter I've got up to. For 2 or 3 weeks, it would not bring up this drop down I couldn't filter by anything, and it was so frustrating. But it's back, so it does work now. They just have. With Facebook's a tricky one as well, because you can't, it's not like they've got a support group that you can, like customer service that you can message. They're very much, they dominate the market. They do what they want. If something's not working, there's not really much you can do about it, because there's not a 24/7 support line that you can call to kind of get someone to fix it. They don't really care. So yeah, that is a bit frustrating. But if something used to work and it doesn't, I'd say just leave it for a little while and come back to it. Try again, yeah, because it can be a bit of a strange one sometimes. So
Yeah.
okay, so what would be, are you guys, so in terms of websites, Kat, have you got a website at all, or are you still?
I am having mine built as we speak, so it should be up and going within hopefully 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Do you know what it's being built with? Is it being built with WordPress?
I think it's Divi. I'm not entirely sure.
So that's a WordPress theme. So that's
Yeah.
WordPress. WordPress is a good one because you can either you or if you have a VA can go and make edits and changes to it and update things. So it's much better than having one that's coded from scratch, because even though that can look amazing and look how you know, if you've got a really particular vision of how you want your website to look like, it costs a lot more money obviously to get it coded from scratch like that, but also it's very hard for you to then go and update something like update a time or you know, like today Lou asked me to change her call time from 50 minutes to 30 minutes. Something that's simple to change on a website takes me 1 or 2 minutes to do, whereas if that was a coded website you can't log in and do it yourself. So WordPress, or I'd say WordPress is very good. That's what I've used for all my clients. That's what Lou uses. Wix is another one that's quite a popular one. I haven't actually
been advertising a lot on that. I've seen that a lot.
WordPress or Wix?
Wix. I've seen a lot more advertisement on Facebook, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, they do a lot of advertising. But WordPress, I'd say, is good. Easiest. They're fairly user friendly, but they are still quite technical. So they are quite hard to get your head around sometimes.
I think I finally learned after many, many years, not that I've ever tried doing it, but I'm like, just bloody outsource it.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it just gets me down. Tech has been such a big thing for me. And it's like, I wish I'd realised a lot sooner to just do that. Let someone else do it. And
what I would say
it's all timing, isn't it?
Yeah, if you outsource the website, I would say try and get them, just so that for using it longer term and that you don't have to rely on that person and to always be doing everything, I would say use something like WordPress rather than, and it's cheaper often to get a WordPress website built than it is to get a custom coded one.
They've been doing my freebie and my sales funnel and stuff, so I'm hoping that I can kind of create that relationship and you know, hopefully as we move forward. I will check, but I'm sure it is a WordPress website. You've got me thinking now. I will.
Divi is from what I know, a WordPress theme. So there's lots of different WordPress themes. So for example, Lou's WordPress theme is called Enfold, but there's thousands and thousands of different themes out there, and the theme is really just how it looks. So there's certain layouts, so certain, I mean, they're all very similar, and you can obviously browse through which ones. There's lots of free ones, and there's some that are paid for. Divi's a paid for theme, and a lot of WordPress or a lot of website designers will have, I think Divi's one of the most popular themes. So it's a paid for theme, they'll pay for it, and then they use that across their customers or their clients' websites. And it's a similar sort of layout, but it's a popular layout and it's quite customizable and it's nice to use. So the theme builder looks slightly different in terms of the back end of it, but WordPress in general works fairly similar. So there are some differences. So if you're not using Enfold, which is what Louisa's got, it will look slightly different, but not too dissimilar. This will all look the same. It's just how you actually edit the pages can be slightly different, but they work on a similar concept. So
I'm using MailerLite for email. Yeah, so I will pull it up. I'm sure it is a Divi. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, Divi is a WordPress theme. So unless there's something else called Divi that I've not heard of, it will be a WordPress site. So that's good. So in terms of, let me just think. So the easiest way to show it is in pages. So each page on your website is, well, it's a page. So on the Soulful Business Mastery website, for example, that you see, so each module is a page, each You know, like the curriculum page is a page. Each thing you go onto is a separate page. So that's why there's all these different pages here that obviously we've created for Louisa. Things like privacy policy, all the different pillars, the call recordings. You have to create a page for each one of those. So this is where with your, if you've gone to a website developer who's creating your website, Kat, he will or she will have, they'll have asked you what kind of pages you want. So what do you want on your website? You want an about me page, a programs page, all the different pages that you want. So this is where they are created in here.
For those of us at the beginning, what would you kind of say? I'm just, when you ticked on the privacy, I'm just thinking with the GDPR, that's clearly something we need to have our tail covered. A lot of this is the content you guys have built up over the years. What would you say are kind of the building blocks that we need to,
so
are there branches that we need to cover at the beginning?
Yeah, so will your website, let's ask this question. So will your website be, so Lou's got a few different websites. She's got her louisahavers.com, which is just her general about her coaching page. Is that more useful to show you than say the program page itself? So the actual initial, I've got that open here somewhere.
It's all fruitful information. So, but I'm probably still going to keep stepping back going, I'm at the beginning. So if I'm building the first starting point, exactly, it's,
yeah. So if I show you, so Lou's website is, let's just visit the site. So this is her obviously main page, which is her home page. And then she's got about Louisa, client stories, work with me, and the different ways you can work with Louisa. So these are all different pages. So if this is a, and you know, book your call, for example. So I would obviously say to start with, you'd want to create your about Louisa page or the equivalent of. So this is what it looks like. I mean, it's fairly simple. It's not, I say simple, but it's not, you know, there's no flashing videos and images and things like that. It's fairly kind of straightforward, and I'll show you what that looks like on the back end.
Perfect, yeah.
So pages. So if you had your brand new WordPress website, you wouldn't have any of these pages here. These are obviously all the pages that we've created to go on the website. You would add a new page up here.
Okay.
Then you would do, so it would be blank. You wouldn't have any of this. I'm covering my screens if you can see my hand. You wouldn't have any of this stuff down here. It would just be blank, and then you would have to sort of start from scratch. But you can see that, so this is a particular box. This is the Meet Louisa title, and you've got an image and text like this. So it's, let me go and start a new page and show you how you might do it. So you could do me, Helen, for example. That's your page. Now on WordPress, you've got the option to do with the default. So it's just really basic. You can just type in things here. And you can, you know, just write as you would, and you can add images that way. Or you can go, this is where the theme comes in. So the Divi theme, for example, or Enfold that Louisa's got. If you go advanced layout editor, and a lot of them will have this, you can actually then, it's a lot easier to add things. So you've got these three tabs along the top. So you've got layout elements. So this is where you can create a box that's either just one big long one along the top. It can have columns, different layout structures. So for example, let's go back to Lou's site so you can see. So on the About Louisa page, this is two columns. For example, you can't see the column, but because you've got two things side by side, so if you wanted to have text on one side and image on another side, or like, so down here, text on one side, image on another, and I think she also had here, this is two columns, so just two kind of text side by side. That would be this layout here, 1 and 2, if you see what I mean. Or you could just have it as one big long box, so where she's just got text going along like this. This is just one big block like that. So you can sort the layout out quite simply like that, and you can just delete each box here. So once you've got the box, for example, say you just wanted to have text along the top, you can then go to content elements, and this is where you can add things like a text box, or you can add a button to go visit your website, or you can add an image, or well, there's all these different things you can add basically, but let's just keep it really simple. Say we wanted to add a text block. You just drag that in there, click on it, and then you can just say, hi, my name is Helen, and I am a life coach, for example. And then if you wanted to add a picture, you could add, you know, say this was you, Helen. You can either, these are ones that obviously Louisa's uploaded to her website already, but you can click on upload files and just search your computer for a file here. Or you can use stock photos that WordPress give you. So these are just, you know, classic stock images that you can use. A lot of people use these sort of ones on blog posts where you're talking about a particular topic, for example, or you can obviously upload your own. So say this was a picture of you. You then click on insert into page here. So there's you. And then if you, and this is what it looks like. This is a preview on the right hand side of what that looks like. So if you wanted to center all of that, you can highlight it and center it, and then it will show over here that it's centered. And so say you would save that. So that's your first sort of bit of your page. And if you wanted to, you can obviously see what that looks like live. So if you clicked on preview over here, I know I'm running through this quite quick, but obviously you can go back and look at the recording, but this is what it looks like at the moment. So it looks quite basic. But if you didn't want this side panel, so Louisa doesn't have these side panel on her pages. Let's move this out of the way. We always click on sidebar settings. So there's a default, but you can click on here and go no sidebar, for example, or move it left or right. So sidebar would be if you wanted to link them to things like your Facebook page or something else, like a little contact form down there or something like that. But if you just wanted a basic page with no other distractions, you could click on no sidebar, and then if you clicked preview, that should refresh itself, and now there's no sidebar there, for example. If we then, obviously this isn't going to look very good because I'm not really creating it very well.
If you wanted to upload a video, you just do it with media again.
So media, so yeah, you've got content elements, which is things like text, headings, spaces. So if you wanted to create, like put one of those little lines between text, or testimonials in a funky little box. And there's lots of different things, you know, little MailChimp sign up thing. You can put your MailChimp sign up form in there so people can sign up to your website, to your newsletter, a table. Media elements is where you add images, videos, things like that. With videos, you can upload a video as it is, but that takes up quite a lot of space on your website. So I would always say upload. So if I show you how we do it with, so all the call recordings, for example, for Soulful Business Mastery, we upload into YouTube. They're unlisted, so no one can find them unless they've got the link. So that's why I put them on the website. You can click on that and you can see that video, but Joe Public can't see that video because obviously we don't want the whole world to be able to see your coaching calls, for example, but they are all on YouTube, and that then means YouTube is holding that content size, so the actual size of the video, and all you're doing is putting a link in, which is a really small size wise. So in terms of how much storage is on your website, and your website can go really slowly if you've got lots of videos on there. So say you were doing training videos for your clients, things like that, I would say put them all on YouTube but unlisted. And that means
so if I don't have a YouTube account, I need to
just
create one of those.
Yeah, you just need a free
part
one.
of Google.
It's part of Google. It's part of Google, so you can just sign up for a YouTube account. It just needs to be a free one. You don't need the paid for one. And yeah, and then you can upload your videos in there, and obviously anything that you wanted to be put out to the public. So if you wanted someone to find certain coaching tips and videos that you were putting out, then you could just make them public, so then anyone can search for those. But if you wanted them specifically just for your clients, for example, so that they weren't for you know, everyone else's eyes, like these calls, for example, that are recorded, then you can put them, instead of marking them as public, you mark them as unlisted. And that means anyone with the link can view that video, but if you don't have the link, you cannot view that video. Okay. So, you know, someone else won't be able to view that, but because I put the link on the website, then they can view it. But if it was a general about you video, 3 minutes long, you wanted to upload that, you want everyone to be able to see that, whether they are a client or not. So you could just make that public, and therefore anyone searching on YouTube could come across your about me video, and yeah, that's a public one, that's fine. So you can just base it on
when you're putting videos.
What's the easiest way to upload? So I want to do some hypnotherapy recordings and post them on Facebook, but I know you can't upload an MP3 or an MP4. I get confused. MP4 directly to Facebook. You can upload, so you can upload a video link directly to Facebook. It's just an audio though. Just audio's MP3, so it's just, so is that what you wanted, just an audio? Yeah, just an audio. Yeah, I don't think you can do audio, which is strange actually. But you could YouTube. You could upload that audio to YouTube just with a nice picture as the background, or whatever, or just a black screen.
That's what I was just thinking. Could you almost upload, pick a favorite image on Zoom, and that, like, you bring that as the attachment and you Zoom, so you record, nobody sees you, but they're seeing that cool image the whole time during the recording. Yeah, so you could have it, and you could just have a picture of you. So like this picture of Louisa, if it was just an audio and you didn't actually have any sort of visual whatsoever, you could just have a picture of you, of your logo, of a nice scenery, of a nice universe type picture. I don't know, something that's nice visually, that's going to make people feel positive, I guess. But you can put any still frame to the whole video and just have the audio, and it's just however long, and you can edit that in your if you can get free video editing software, and that's quite easy to just upload the audio with a picture through the whole way. What are you using for the free video? So Louisa's got a paid for one called Camtasia, but if you search, I actually looked the other day, so free video editing software, and whenever you search on Google, all the ones with ads, I generally just skip past, because they're the ones that they've paid, obviously, to have their website up there. I always scroll down and just see. So you've got things like OpenShot. I often look at these kind of blogs, so the best free video editing software 2020, and they'll give you a list of, say, the top 5 or top 10 that they recommend, and they're free. And these are people, so Tech Radar is quite a good website, for example, because they're techie themselves, and therefore they'll be able to say they've used them all, they've tried them out, and these are the best because of XYZ. So if I'm looking for a free bit of software, I often search almost like a review site, really, to what's, here, 37 best free video editing software tools in 2020. A lot of people post these kind of websites, and there's a few, so I'd maybe look at 1 or 2 of these and then see what is the consensus as, say, the top 3, and then maybe just download one of them and try it out. But they're all fairly user friendly, and in terms, my dog is in terms of, say again. When I've tried that, exactly, just doing it kind of Google, got a free one. It was fairly easy to watch the video and then mimic it, but then kind of at the very end, they drop their little logo in there.
Yeah, some don't.
And there's a few little glitches at the end. I was going, didn't that was. So I was curious from that side, but it's when you're loading videos onto YouTube, are they generally pre-recorded ones that she's done using her Zoom account?
Yeah, so they'll
just think Zoom's quality is so good.
Yeah, so all of these call recordings, for example, are on Zoom, and therefore we'll upload them. So a lot of them are done on Zoom. I've also you could download, say, one of the Facebook downloads, how I showed you how to download a video earlier. Yep. You can then edit that or upload it just as it is. If you're happy with that particular Facebook Live and you don't want to edit it, you can just upload that straight away. Or you could just record yourself doing something just on either on your phone directly or on your webcam directly. You could film it and then just upload that straight away. So you don't have to necessarily use, it depends what you're obviously doing. If you wanted to upload a group thing that you were doing on Zoom, obviously then you download the Zoom recording. But if you wanted to upload a 5-minute top tips on how to get over a breakup or something, I don't know, you know, whatever it is, then you could record that separately yourself and then upload it that way. But yeah, have a look at some, because a lot of these review sites will say what's like the positives and negatives of each one, and if it says, some of them say negative is you can't remove their watermark, for example, or their logo, then at least you know, whereas some might say positives, you can remove their logo. But a lot of free ones will say they're free because it's branded with theirs. So there will be some that aren't, but I haven't actually checked them all out myself yet. So but that's something.
I'm gonna have to go, so thank you very much.
That's okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie. Bye.
Time's gone quick, isn't it? So I was kind of in the middle of WordPress stuff, but we can always touch on that another time.
Yeah.
But where was I? I've got so many tabs open.
I guess where I am, I'm you know, any guidance, because I'm kind of just coming on, I'm filling in the beginning workbook. Is there anything that you'd say, and not like I've just got my accreditation from EAM, so I've got maybe 3 or 4 elements. You know, just in any guidance that you where would it be best to try and focus my energy initially? What kind of needs to be set up first?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I would definitely say have a social media presence. Are you on all the different social media?
I have Facebook, and then, like I said, I had one friend help me set up the Instagram, so it's there, but it's literally just kind of an extension of my Facebook, Carolyn's Healthy Hub, and it's got me and a few things around Arbonne, but I haven't put anything else up, and I'm realizing I need to get more engaging, and like I love photos, but Instagram I couldn't put any little videos on. It's really it's physical content, it's photos and text, right?
Yeah, you can do videos. So on Instagram,
okay,
you can either put, so for example, let me find your video, like these are videos here.
Okay,
so you can either, if it's Instagram, you can only upload a video to here if it's under 60 seconds. If it's over 60 seconds, then you have to do it through this thing called IGTV, which is Instagram TV. So you can see that this one's 6 minutes, this one's 10 minutes, this one's 32 minutes. I think you can upload up to an hour.
Okay, so under 60, I can do direct onto Instagram.
Yeah,
if it's
like
more than that, what was it? IPG?
IGTV. So, and you have to do that on the computer rather than on your phone, I think, unless they've changed
Good
it.
note.
You never used to be able to do it on your phone. So you can upload it. So you click on IGTV here on your profile and then click upload. And that's where you add a video and put the title in the description.
Perfect, okay.
Hi, Kat.
Yeah.
Who says that now? Hi.
Liz, you made it.
Hi, Gabby.
Welcome back. Welcome, Kat.
Thank you.
Oh, you made it in. So happy you're here.
Dude, there was the thing in the announcement said one Zoom, so I was checking that, but that wasn't the one that would let me in. It was like, there's another meeting in progress. I was like, oh no. So I eventually went back through all the joining stuff and found it. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, phew. I was panicking because we'd split the room so that everybody who wanted to do like techie stuff and was joining Sophie, and then strategy stuff.
Yeah, I've learned some
we'd
great
split.
stuff from Sophie, so thank you.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
She's a total ninja. I actually declared my love for her in the other room.
She did.
You declare your love for me on a regular basis anyway over messages, so it's fine.
So I'm like,
I know.
you should see the emojis I sent her. I'm like, I love you. Thank you so much for just taking away this energy reversal.
Yeah.
It's
I say the
fabulous.
power of outsourcing. I wish I had learnt it a long time ago, but all in right timing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I've invited Sophie to come and join us, so she can help keep you guys moving forward if you haven't yet got VAs, so that you can get to the point where you can have VAs and
Yeah,
keep moving forward. So I think you know everybody apart from Julia, is that right? Just have a little.
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah. Hi, Julia. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Julia's an honorary EAM mentor because she's the only one who's not one at the moment.
Oh.
But we have Julia. You have got some. You have got some other buddies coming. They are coming. having conversations with people. So
I like it. I like being unique. You're the only one that cannot do this thing. Brilliant.
No, you're in good company.
yeah,
You're in good
yeah.
company.
Oh, fab stuff. I'm so happy we're all here. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock, which is normally we're a bit later, but it's because I'm just squishing everything in before I go on my holidays on Friday. So tomorrow we've got a business
Where do you
implementation.
go?
I am going to Southwold with my boys for
Oh,
5 days, which is lovely.
lovely.
And then I'm just going to be at home in my hammock. I've got a jacuzzi arriving. So excited.
Oh,
Yes, I'm going to be in the jacuzzi or the hammock for a week, basically.
Is the weather good?
I have no idea. If it's raining, I'll bring the hammock in. And if I'm in the jacuzzi, it doesn't matter. As long as it's not like a thunderstorm.
Yeah, it's still warm.
So yeah, so tomorrow at 2 o'clock, we've got our implementation session, and this is in the membership site, but we're going to work through doing a Facebook Live and then inviting people to come and work with you at the end, so that you've got a template, we've done the work together, and you can have confidence. I can see everyone going, okay. And what I am going to do is I have used that template myself to create my Facebook Live for tonight, for the 5 pillars to build a 6-figure coaching business. So I've done that sort of deliberately so that you can then see me using it, if that makes sense.
And is that the same the same Zoom as today?
Yes. So same Zoom number. So all calls for Soulful Business Mastery on this number, Kat.
Right. And is the Wednesday one, sorry to be a pain, is the Wednesday one monthly, weekly?
Yep. So it's the second Wednesday of each month and the fourth Wednesday of each month normally, but we brought it forward because I'm away.
Great, and that's all in the in the stuff. Great,
Yes.
I'll go back and have a look. Thank you, Lou.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for today. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you for all your questions and for supporting each other. And I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow, where we'll be working on your invitations. I'm ready to release those energy reversals at that word.
Oh,
I
gosh.
actually just saw them all going. Oh, I love it. Love you guys.
Thanks, Lou.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.